Thank you for your testimony. Mr. Ford.
So I sit here stunned. My name is Pat Ford, by the way. I run an organization called the Coalition Radio Network. I'm just absolutely stunned. How is it possible that the Department of Corrections, whose director, Patricia Coyne Fague, who's notoriously both publicity and accountability averse, leave a hearing of the House Finance Committee without a serious conversation about the exploding cost of litigation and the moral outrage that is solitary confinement? They sat here and I kept waiting for all of you to ask the questions, including a member of this body who I believe was a sponsor of prior legislation to attempt this. And I kept waiting, and they walked out of here. At what point does the increasing reserve for litigation, which that slide flew through pretty quickly, serve as a call for a significant change in management? You've got credible federal lawsuits targeted against both the management as individuals and the state of Rhode Island for millions of dollars for state-sponsored torture. And yet, here we are at the House Finance Committee, and you would ignore that. At a recent press conference attended by the governor and Dr. James McDonald, the now interim director of the Department of Health, he acknowledged to me that there was no presence by the Rhode Island Department of Health at the Adult Correctional Institute or the Wyatt, and no health inspections. How is that possible? One could argue that if one didn't observe ServSafe regulations at the local deli, you'd be shut down in a heartbeat. Yet, as we've had credible testimony by individuals in this room, that mold conditions that are not safe for anyone in the building, including personnel, continue to exist despite the presence of a consent decree that was filed a generation ago. The state of Rhode Island, I want to make this very clear, is in violation of something called the Mandela Rules, which were promulgated by the United Nations and are called as such in honor, of course, of the great Dr. Mandela and the conditions he had to suffer in South African prisons during apartheid. And there's a variety of them. And I've confronted the head of the DOC about that, and she just chooses to ignore it. We blissfully ignore the fact that the size of the cells are in violation, that the lack of adequate sunlight are in violation, that the amount of medical personnel that necessarily have to be on staff and on a media call are in violation, that the food is in violation, that access to support personnel, whether they be psychiatric or medical, we are in violation. Again, we are a torture state, and all of you sitting here are the architects of that. You know why? Because you are engaged, as we stand right now, in financing this abomination. You're writing the checks. I will tell you this. I will make you my solemn promise. To my little media organization, I am already working to bring pressure from Archbishop Tobin's office to bear on you to do something. I'm reaching out to organizations like Amnesty International. Now imagine, we associate Amnesty International with the Republic of South Africa. We associate organizations like that with Nazi Germany. But I will tell you that there is torturing happening right now a mere 10 miles from here. And in one of the few opportunities as a legal body, you sat here tonight and did nothing. And that is outrageous. And you should be ashamed of yourself. Because the next time we'll see Patricia Coyne Fague, there have been few sightings in public, I'll just say that. Do something. Now. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ford.